guys, welcome back to my channel, The You in Fashion. My name's Megan. On my channel we discuss fashion, luxury, handbags, and lifestyle. So if you're interested in any of those topics, please like and subscribe, and don't forget to hit that notifications bell down below so you don't miss any of my content. So in today's video we are going to be discussing the comparison between the Cartier Love Bracelet versus the Cartier Juste in CLOU, and forgive me if I'm pronouncing that incorrectly, but I've tried to watch plenty of videos on the pronunciation, so Juste in CLOU is how I'll be pronouncing it, but feel free to correct me later if I'm doing that incorrectly. So I have the regular size Love bracelet and I have the small Juste in CLOU, and during this comparison video we are going to talk a little bit about description about the both of them, sizing, pros and cons, and which one I would choose if I had to get one of these again, and which one I would choose first. And as far as a little description on these bracelets, so the Love bracelet of course does have the two screws, so one on that side and then also the other one on this side, and that's of course how you get it on and off, is by unscrewing those screws and of course putting them back on to get it on. And then the small Juste in CLOU here, that one is actually taken on and off by doing a like so. Sorry, I'm trying to see if you can see that. So it kind of will come off like that. Basically, that's how it bends on and off, is like that. So that is how you kind of will take them on and off. Now with that being said, of course, we know that that means that this one comes off a little bit easier because you can take it off like I just showed you, where of course the Cartier Love bracelet, I do wear that one all the time, and I really wear both of them all the time. I haven't taken them off since I've gotten them, except when I got this one repaired, of course, but I wear them all 24/7 to bed, during the day, anytime. I wear them both, and I just know that it is something to be said that of course the Love bracelet is a lot harder to get off, and is of course advised that you do not take it on and off. So I just wanted to kind of talk to you a little bit about each of the bracelets, how you get them on and off. If you watched my very first video on my Cartier Love bracelet, you will know that I did buy both of these pre-loved actually, but I discussed how I bought this one pre-loved from Fashion File. I also discussed that I do have the older generation in which the screws come completely out of the bracelet, and I did actually lose one of the screws in the shower. I took it to the boutique, ordered a new screw, and I have had no other problems out of it since. So I'm not going to take it off for the sake of this video, simply because I am afraid. I feel like I've been on such a good streak without losing any of the screws, without any of them loosening up, so I just don't want to do anything that would make that change. But I do want to just try to do as best as I can to give you guys some good views, even with it on my wrist there, of both of these. I do have both of these in the yellow gold, so let's move on a little bit to pricing. For the regular Love bracelet, the current price in the yellow gold is $6,900. The current price for the small Juste in CLOU is $3,400. So let's talk pricing on that, right? Because $6,900 and $3,400 are two very, very, very different numbers. So I really feel like you have to decide, what are you really looking for when it comes to one of these bracelets? The only thing I do wonder is if you guys would feel differently about the larger size. I've never owned the larger Juste in CLOU, so I don't know if that would feel a little bit more substantial, because when I purchased my Juste in CLOU, it was actually after I got my Cartier Love bracelet, and I wanted something that I could use to stack my Love bracelet with, and I was like, well, the Juste in CLOU is a good option. It is much less expensive in the small size than the Love bracelet, so that's when I decided to get my small Juste in CLOU, and I really, really, really like them both. I feel that if you are looking for something, of course, smaller in size, then you're gonna want to go with the Juste in CLOU in the small size, but I feel like the Cartier Love bracelet still can definitely be worn every day. It doesn't ever feel too heavy for me, or it doesn't ever get in my way, and I I feel like it's also a perfectly good everyday bracelet. So it really is just your style. To me, of course, the Love bracelet is more of a classic style. I feel like it's never going anywhere. I have heard of things even from like 7+ years ago, of course, and these are still going strong. Now, they do say that the Juste CLOU is supposed to be a little bit more newer, a little bit more edgy style, but I feel like it, you can't go wrong with either one of them. And you can wear them both every day just fine. It's all in kind of what you're looking for. Now, as far as sizing, I would say that my wrist measured around is about 14.5 centimeters. So I did decide to go with the size 15 in my small Juste CLOU, and I decided to go with a size 16 in my Cartier Love bracelet. And they do say that you do want to go about the size of your wrist a little bit. For the Juste CLOU, you want to go as close to your wrist size for that one. So like I said, in my case, I'm a 14.5, so I went with the 15, but you do want your Love bracelet to be a little bit larger. So I did go with the size 16 in this size, and I feel like that's the perfect size. If you can kind of see there, it sits right about there when it is at its lowest where it can fit on my arm. And the 15, I mean, is still just really, I could even push that probably past my Cartier Love bracelet if it wasn't restricting it there. So I feel like that really gives you a good idea just of how differently they kind of fit and feel. So you definitely want to go a little bit smaller on your Juste CLOU than you want to go on your Cartier Love bracelet. So pros and cons. My pros of both of these bracelets is that you can wear them every day, all day, which to me is a big pro, especially for the amount that we are paying for these bracelets. And believe you me, I do. I never take these off. I have been on an airplane several times with both of these bracelets on and have never had any issues being stopped. I feel like a pro also is that they transition basically anything that you're doing, and they do give you that luxury feel just all the time. And I feel like that kind of is invaluable. Like my handbags, of course, I can't take every handbag with me, but I wear these every single day to work, to do my housework, anything that I'm doing, I have on these bracelets, and I feel like that is amazing. Now, if I had to choose just one, and if I did it over, it would definitely be my Cartier Love bracelet. And that is the one I would recommend to honestly purchase first. And here's the reason why. I feel like it is such a classic. I feel like the size of it is perfect. I feel like you could get away just with that. And I see people wear like a tennis bracelet, and I think that looks absolutely gorgeous. The Juste CLOU, like I said, I definitely love it stacked with the Cartier Love bracelet, but to be honest, if I didn't have my Love bracelet first, I probably wouldn't like the way that the Juste CLOU looked alone. I feel like because I have the small size, it kind of looks a little bit, how do I describe it? Maybe empty on my wrist without something along with it, where I feel like I could wear just my Cartier Love bracelet, even if you decided not to go with the Juste CLOU to stack with it, and it would look perfectly good and stand alone perfectly. So I feel like the general consensus is the Cartier Love bracelet truly is the way to go. I feel like you can't go wrong, but if you are looking to be a little bit more price conscious, I definitely would recommend the small Love bracelet, kind of just to get into the brand, decide if that's something that you would want to wear on your wrist every single day, because again, that's something else to consider. Because these bracelets are meant to be worn every day and they actually recommend you do not take them on and off, you do want to make sure that that's something that you can commit to and something that you would feel comfortable wearing these bracelets every single day. But like I said, I hardly feel them. I feel like that they have just become part of me at this point. I never feel the urge to just snatch them off. And this is coming from someone who does usually take off my jewelry. I just realized that I didn't have on my wedding bands, so I went to go pop those on. But right when I was saying that, I realized that this is something I usually take off my jewelry at nighttime and put it on in the morning, and that shows you, like, even with my wedding bands, I don't wear those all the time, so that should tell you something. My fingers feel very constricted, so that's why I was like, oh my gosh, when I was filming this video I completely forgot to have those on, but I popped those on, so we're okay now. And with that being said, as you can see, I wear these on my left wrist, and that is because it is my non-dominant hand. I do write and type a lot for work, so I purposely wore it on the left side. However, on my wish list, of course, you guys know I do have a Cartier love ring that I am interested in, and I would plan to wear that on my right hand because I wouldn't want the yellow gold to kind of clash with the white gold of my wedding rings. So I'm thinking I may have to switch it to my right wrist, and that shouldn't be a problem. I know some people, of course, say your right hand along with your right wrist of your dominant hand is larger than your non-dominant, and we know that, right? But I feel like I would have no issues moving the 15 and the 16 over to this side because, I mean, just look how much difference in room I have, and my wrist on this side definitely isn't that much larger. So that's definitely something else to consider. I wouldn't go too tight just in case you ever have to move it from one side to another. You never know what life's gonna bring you, and I never thought that I would be switching it, but once I decided to get the ring, I was like, maybe eventually I'll need to move it to the other side, so I would recommend having that option. I feel like one thing that's also usually discussed with the love bracelet is scratches, and I feel like I should put that in there only because this is supposed to be kind of a general video about both of them. The love bracelet, yes, will get scratches. That is just part of wearing it all day, every day. What I will say is that it doesn't bother me at all. I did decide to purchase it pre-loved even more so for that reason though, because I knew that it was going to get scratched. So it didn't really bother me for there to be a couple of scratches already there before I had actually purchased it. I knew that I was okay with like a few scratches here and there. The thing I really looked for though when I was purchasing it pre-loved was nicks. I didn't want nicks in it because I knew that that was something that as long as I took care of it, typically that wasn't something associated with the love bracelets that was normally there, but I knew that scratches was just par for the course, and I was perfectly okay with purchasing it pre-loved with a couple of scratches there already, and that also made me feel a little bit better to know that I wasn't the one who was making those scratches on the bracelet. So I would definitely consider pre-loved, and of course the price point is a lot better if you're okay with purchasing it pre-loved instead of brand new. Now with that being said, as far as the scratches of the Juste CLOU, I don't seem to notice this becoming scratched as easily. I of course feel like that's because of the shape. It is cylindrical, it is rounder, which I feel like just doesn't lend itself for as many scratches as this does. With that being said though, one thing is because of the kind of nail shape, the edge here gets caught on so many things. It'll even sometimes wrap itself around my Cartier love bracelet, and I literally like have to unwrap it. I'm like, I don't even know how that happens, but it'll wrap itself around my Cartier love bracelet sometimes. It'll get caught like in my shirt and I have to uncatch it, as to say, from like my tops and things like that. But otherwise that would be, you know, kind of a big con on this one for me, is that it does seem to get, because of its shape, it seems to get caught on and caught in a lot of things. So definitely take that into consideration when choosing between these two as well. Anyway, if there is any questions you have, please let me know. I will be glad to answer any of them you have. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.